Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 5 of the Degenerates podcast. It's kind of crowded today. We've got a full house here. We've got myself, Ian in the corner.
Episode 5.
Are you just not going to say anything when I fucking mention your fucking name? All right, Dave.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, Dave's here. Jared, obviously.
Hey.
And then Hunter and, I'm sorry, I fucking forget your name.
Kaylee.
All right,
I
Kaylee.
made up the name for the podcast.
All right,
You
cool.
should, really remember me.
No, I don't. I have zero recollection. Okay, so
Slouch
20%.
You also said the wrong name. It's the Degenerates of the Roundtable.
fuck! Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna.
Restart.
we're gonna
Really?
Okay.
You're gonna restart?
No, I'm not gonna restart
You
it.
fucking
Okay, you know what this is. It's the Degenerates of the Roundtable podcast.
No, this actually is my first episode.
Oh, is it actually? I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure you were here for the first one though.
No.
No?
That was that was the other one.
What's your name? It starts with a Z or something?
Oh, is that
Yeah.
Brendan?
George Zimmerman.
George.
Zimmerman.
That's great.
Zimmerman.
Okay.
Yo, bring my boy Zimmer
All
back.
right, yeah, you like Mr. Zimmerman? You a big fan of his work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, what did he do again? Didn't he kill someone?
Yeah, something like
He
that.
killed like a little black boy.
Oh my god.
But that's why people were pissed off, right?
That's
Yeah.
a great start.
Yeah, it's a
Great
great.
start.
start.
Isn't that? But that's why people got pissed off.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it's what happened.
All
Okay.
right. So I'm not wrong. It's not racist.
It's no,
It's the truth.
Yeah, it's not racist if it's true. All right, so all right, let's segue away
So,
from
do you
this.
want to see the podcast topic list today?
Yeah. Oh shit. Okay. Well, so then, do you need me to start talking about stuff then?
Yes.
Okay.
Please.
You don't have anything?
It's blank. So Hunter showed me his document of podcast. It just says podcast, and then there's nothing else there. So, all right, it's time for me to
Fuck,
fucking.
we're not entertaining.
Okay. No. Okay, I
Are we
can.
talking about the last time you shit your pants?
Oh yeah, that's the first thing we can talk about. Yeah. When was the last time that you guys shit your pants? Like, do you
Didn't we
remember?
already talk about this?
I don't think we did. Not on the
Not on the
podcast, at least.
podcast.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
we might have talked about it in the Discord.
Yeah.
But like, are we talking like little came out, or like you fully did not have control of your
Any
bowels?
kind,
I
any
mean,
kind.
yeah, like, just the poop fell in your pants.
All
If
right.
you
Like,
have leakage, it
yeah,
counts.
yeah, some
Alright.
any sort of
Like,
leakage.
You got some brown in your pants. All right.
Yeah.
We're not
Did
talking
you
about
say
a
the
streak.
first time or the most embarrassing?
No. I said the last time,
Dude,
like
I'm
the most
never
recent
embarrassed when
time.
I shit my pants. I'm proud of that.
All right, well,
you take it in strides. All right,
Yeah.
Jared, you want to
I
go
actually
first?
know.
All right, Jared's gonna go first.
Right now.
You guys smell it?
Yeah, right now. No, I was at a friend's house and I felt like crap. I woke up at night. I was like sleeping over his house. I think I was like 10 actually.
Okay.
And I
wow, very
woke up-
late.
Yeah, I woke up and I'm just like, God, I feel like shit. And then I went to go take a shit. I did. I tried to go back to sleep and I couldn't. And I'm just like, wow, I really feel like crap. So I called my mom. I'm just like, can you come pick me up, please? and as she got there. By the way, it was raining outside.
Uh-huh.
So she got there, and then I started walking out, and I started walking slower because I started feeling more and more like crap. Then all of a sudden, it just all came out
Oh
at
my
once.
god.
Yeah.
I vomited, shat myself in the rain.
Oh,
and I was just like
dude.
laying there in the lawn,
So
just like.
So were
Defeated.
were you laying down while you were shitting and throwing up, or were you already in the,
I
were you in the process?
First, it was me like, and then it was just like on the ground, and I was just like,
Oh my god.
it was so bad.
So you were
It
like
was
laying
in the
down
rain.
while you're
It was
crapping yourself.
It was like diarrhea. It was
Oh my
complete
God.
liquid.
Yeah.
And then
That's
also it was
awful.
coming from the front and the back while it was
Dude.
raining. So I
Would you-
cleaned myself as it was going on.
Dude,
so.
would you have fucking mono? Like,
On a scale of
It
1 to
was-
10, how explosive was it out the back end?
I think my pants were white and now they were brown.
oh, that's
It was
perfect.
Just blew a hole through the back.
All right.
Ooh, yeah.
All right, Dave.
It was bad.
You remember the last time you shat yourself?
Well, the thing is, it's not very an interesting story. I just
Yeah.
gambled on a fart and lost.
Yeah. I mean, like, that's really. I mean, that's honestly my story as well.
But I have a funny shit story. If you
Okay.
wanna- if
All
you
right.
wanna
Yeah.
hear it.
Bring it for me.
All right. So it was like 3rd or 2nd grade, right?
Okay.
And for some reason, at this point in my life, I really hated shitting. Like I really hated the aspect that you have to wipe afterwards. Like I really didn't like wiping for
Okay.
some reason.
Yep. All right. Gotcha.
So what I would do is I would hold these shits in for a really long time.
Yep.
Like 2 or 3 days before I like took a dump.
okay.
And so one of these days was New Year's Eve, and my neighbors are having a New Year's Eve party,
Mm-hmm.
and this is awesome. Basically, at this point, I've held in a shit for at least 4 days.
Okay, yeah, this is a big one.
Yeah. So,
How much did it hurt coming out?
it didn't hurt. I mean,
Really?
usually- Oh yeah,
3 days worth of
actually no.
poop?
I was constipated once, where like I
Yeah?
couldn't.
Yeah, that
get
happens
it
when
out.
you're
Oh.
holding a shit for longer than 3 days.
That's
Yeah,
happened to
dude.
me. My mom's made fun of me for being constipated, like crying at school, having to go to the nurse's
Oh.
office and crying to the
It's
nurse, being like, "I can't poop."
Why didn't you shit yourself, idiot?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I said I was. They said that I was constipated, but then in the doctor's office, I took a massive dump and I wasn't constipated anymore.
Oh,
And,
really?
so anyway, back to the New Year's Eve party. Basically, what happened was we went downstairs and all the neighborhood kids are there, and I have. You smelling the mic, bro? That's
What
kind
the
of
fuck
weird.
are you doing over there?
Basically, my neighbors got this new Tony Hawk video game where they had the controller was a skateboard.
Yeah. I used to have that shit,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. So basically, the moral of the story, of course, what you should take from this is that don't go on the skateboard when you have to take a dump,
Uh-huh.
because I fucking a little came out
Yep,
of it.
a little bit.
and then it went down my pant leg and
Oh.
onto the fucking skateboard. But the thing is, I never got caught.
What?
They didn't know it was me. There was just shit on the skateboard, and people were like, "Where'd that shit come from? Where'd that come from? Who shit on the skateboard?" So,
Did you ever fess
Oh
up
my
to
God.
it?
So you're
I'm
now
fessing up to it
admit-
right
Yeah,
now.
you're admitting it
Yeah.
now.
How young were you?
This was like second grade.
I thought you were about to say this was 2 weeks ago.
This was 2 weeks ago.
So I have a story. It's not really the last time I shit myself, but the last time I remember like throwing. It's a story about something coming out of an end of me.
Okay.
Correct.
Do you remember the trip to? It was a camping trip, Boy Scout trip. I don't know if I was in your troop or not. I just remember sleeping in a tent with someone who used to be our friend.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Dude, I slept with
And
a bunch of
that's
dudes in Boy
illegal.
Scouts.
Yeah, but
That's good.
anyways, that's not the point.
One of
The
them
point
threw
is,
up on me, but I'll tell that one later.
Wait, what?
Yeah, no, that's for later. I
As
want to
a-
hear how it is.
so on the car ride, we all had like chaperones, and they drove like kids, like in like their vans. It was at this point that I figured I actually knew this before, but whenever I am in a car for long car rides, I cannot chew gum. If I chew gum in long car rides, I throw up. It is a guarantee.
What are you,
So-
retarded?
I don't
What?
know, maybe.
Can't.
How does that
What it's-
equal retardation? You can't chew gum in car.
What do you
rides.
mean? No, but like, what do you mean you can't chew gum? Like,
It makes them feel
I
weird.
can chew gum, but then I throw up.
Next time we're on a car trip, just shove.
yeah,
gum
I'm gonna.
down your
Okay,
neck.
all right, whatever. Continue.
So, anyways, I forget.
Yeah,
I
don't
forget-
fucking move it, Ian.
So you go like.
I've been interrupted.
Yeah, I know. We're cutting you off right now. I'm asserting dominance as the host by cutting you off.
Just go. They're
So-
not talking mics.
I don't remember who the lady was at chaperone, but it was like her and her husband in the front seats, and then four like 5 kids like us, and I was chewing gum, right?
Yeah.
And I remember I was wearing this camouflage zip-up hoodie that I loved. It was in my camouflage craze, and all I had like was camouflage jeans and shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't want to be like, hey, I have to throw up, because that's just weird, and I'm awkward, right?
Yeah.
But I'm also like, it'd be even worse if I just threw up in this lady's van, right?
Yeah, it would be.
So the most logical thing was, I'm gonna throw up in my sleeve.
What?
Like
Wait,
your
what?
jacket sleeve.
Yeah,
Yes.
like
That's what he did.
like that.
Okay.
So I did. I threw up in my sleeve, and then I said, "Hey, I threw up in my sleeve." And we pulled over at a Friendly's, went into the bathroom, and her husband washed my jacket out for me.
Wow.
That's the story.
That's the story. Just throw
Wow.
up. Just threw up.
That's great.
Usually people will be
Absolutely
like,
disgusting.
I don't feel well.
And then
so
pull
then
off to
that
the side of
that
the
point
road.
doesn't
Yeah, well,
happen.
no, I can relate to that because like when you're a little kid, it's like you can't fucking think like on the fly. Like when you're a little kid of like, oh, I'm about to throw up. I need to tell someone that I'm about to throw up.
I did.
No, I didn't. No,
Because if I
can.
didn't, my my parents would beat the shit out of me.
Yeah, no,
No.
dude. I mean, I'm trying to think of like some good, like some fucking weird. Oh, you know what I, you know what I could tell. I could tell. I could tell the story about how I lied to the entire middle school that I had mono. Remember that?
What?
Do you not remember
I
that?
don't remember this.
Yeah, no, it was in.
What's mono?
It's
Kissing disease.
yeah, it's it's not good. It's a disease.
The
like
bad one that lots of college kids get from like kissing
Yeah.
each other.
yeah, it's whatever. Anyway, because
Dirty college kids.
no,
Dirty kids.
so this is oh god, because like it's like you remember those it's like those things that stick with you for the rest of your life that like keeps you up at night that like holy shit I cannot fucking believe I did that like you remember when I Dave when I called my brother a prick in like 7th grade
I
in front
remember
of the
that.
entire class.
I was there
like,
for that.
Yeah.
I was in that class.
Yeah. Was it not? Yeah, it must have been you then. It was 8th grade English class, and we had to. So okay, to set the stage, when I was in 8th grade, I was like, I really just like to talk to like in front of the entire class, which I don't know what the fuck happened because I can't do that shit anymore. But like, I love to just like present in front of classes, and we had to write an essay about. What was it? Do you remember? It was like someone that you loved or someone that you hated.
It was something that you like or hate.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. And I was like, well, I fucking hate my little brother. Still do to this day. Like, I fucking hate my little brother, so I'm just gonna write an essay about him. And then so to understand why I said it, at the time, this was like what 8th grade, so it was like the most poppin' thing for me to watch was Rooster Teeth Minecraft Let's Plays.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I used to watch just constantly
Or
all
the
day.
Yogscast.
No, I really wasn't into the Yogscast
I love
actually.
Shadow
I,
of Israfel?
I like the Yogscast.
Shadow of Israfel.
That
I
was
remember
the
that.
series.
Yeah,
That
no,
the
I was
series.
never a Yogscast kind of person. I don't know what. Honestly, I didn't even know that they
You're
existed.
not that
Really.
anymore.
Fuck you. Okay. But so obviously, when you're a little kid, you're really fucking impressionable, and Gavin, being British, used to just say British slang words, and it didn't click in my retarded ass young head that like, oh, that's a bad word, and like even though that it's like it's not necessarily that bad of a word, it's like something that you shouldn't say in front of an entire fucking class in school. And so my brain was like, let me just write in this essay. Like I wrote this like really long sentence, and it was like at the end of it, and I was like, basically, he's just kind of a prick. And I'm like reading. So basically, it's like my turn to read the essay. So like I go up there and like I start reading the essay, and then I say it, and our fucking teacher.
The class was just like, ooh,
Yeah,
and
and
then
then-
the
and
teacher was like, what?
Yeah, she flipped out, dude. She was so fucking mad at me. Like it was crazy how pissed off she
And
was.
then the class was like, ooh.
No, and like I genuinely did not know that like
Yeah,
it
you
was
were
a
just like,
bad word.
"What?"
Like yeah, I'm like what? What's the big deal? Like I didn't. So
I remember you sitting there just like,
yeah, no, that's what I did because I was like I don't fucking like I don't know.
oh my god.
Yeah, that's like that keeps me up at night. I remember that shit every single day, and it haunts me
Maybe
forever.
that's why you can't talk in front of the class.
Yeah,
anymore.
because I have some fucking PTSD from that.
Actually,
Yeah,
I have a
that's probably
similar
why.
story to that, but not as bad as a word.
Oh yeah.
I was probably what was it, kindergarten? Me being the big brain student I was,
Mhm.
thinking I was a great kid because I was in the special program. You know the program that the kids got in that were actually intelligent.
Yeah,
Or you
yeah.
quote unquote intelligent.
Yeah,
above
they're
the
like,
rest.
oh,
The
you're a
kids that
genius.
don't shit their pants.
Yeah. It's like, wow, you're really smart. So I was at the lunch table, and this very, very nice kid named Danny, he was doing something that was aggravating me. I think he was smushing ketchup packets against the wall. He was placing.
Very, very smart class.
I mean,
see.
he was a part of it, but he was placing them on the table and just banging his head and
Yeah.
going everywhere.
Oh yeah, you ever done that with Go-Gurts?
Yeah, I did that
Yeah,
freshman year.
I know someone who
I'm
has.
literally Danny, but it's high school.
Yeah, Dave used to do that shit in freshman year all the
So-
time.
So I say
We
to
got
him
a
like,
bleachers closed because of the
That's
COVID.
yeah. Well, no, that was Chris,
That was
wasn't it?
Chris.
Yeah, it was Chris. All right, sorry. Continue.
So I say to him, like, what are you doing, you imbecile? Not knowing what the word was.
Whoa.
And he starts crying.
That's not even a bad.
Because I said it so intensely. And he starts crying, and he goes up to the aide that's in the lunchroom. He's like, she called me an imbecile. I
That's
can't
not
believe
even
you
that
said
bad.
that. And
I don't
he's
even think that that's a bad, like a really bad
It's
one.
not.
It's just
Like
like,
calling someone a fucking idiot. I think calling someone an idiot, I think, would be a lot more offensive.
so
in
he's
that
crying
grade.
to the lunch aide, and I get sent down to the principal for calling someone an imbecile, of all things. The little kindergartner me, not knowing what to do in her little uniform, is like, I don't know why I'm here. I said something not so nice, and
That's
Yeah?
something
Sorry,
funny
Monty.
about getting so worked up about calling someone an imbecile.
So I guess we transitioned into times we got in trouble as kids.
yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Dude,
sure.
I knocked someone's
So-
teeth out as a kid once, but I'll get to that later.
we
Wait,
have like
Dave,
30 different
Dave,
stories that Dave's getting to
when
later.
the fuck did you? Was that in Cherville?
No, it was on the playground. Play.
Okay, all right,
I have a
whatever.
few
Just do that.
stories
You do your
of,
story, and then
middle
I'll
school
tell my
afterwards.
story.
Okay, so Robbie hasn't been on the podcast, but he eventually will be. Me
We'll,
and-
we'll hope to have him on maybe this break.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so me and Robbie, we have never been caught doing any criminal activity, but when we were in, it was
Oh, boy.
4th grade, we did graffiti.
Whoa, that is
graffiti
illegal.
I know.
That illegal.
Oh
That's
my
art.
freaking God.
Well, so let me tell you this cringy ass story. So at my school, I won't say the name of it because whatever. I mean, you already said terrible, but
You're painting on the walls and calling it graffiti. Just
no. My elementary school is within a walking distance of my house. It's like 5 minutes. This little path, and basically I'd go there after school with friends, Robbie, and underneath the rock wall was like a bunch of like teenagers with like engraved names and stuff on there, and like graffiti underneath the rock wall. Pretty normal stuff. And I had just acquired a Sharpie, and I thought it'd be really cool it was like me and Robbie, and we were like, all right, we're gonna like just write our graffiti, and we're gonna write our gamer tags, right?
Okay.
I didn't. This occurred during the peak of my Wizard 101 career.
Oh
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
So if I had written Hawk Frost 34, nothing could be traced back to me. Absolutely nothing. But my big brain thinks Hunter Hawktail would never be traced back to
Nah,
me.
never.
Never. But it did.
Okay.
I will not
So?
say her name, but
Some
one
dumb
of our
bitch.
one of our friends actually dated her.
So a dumb bitch.
Sure.
Okay.
I've always hated her. She has always hated me. That's fine. But she was like, Hunter, his name on the rock wall, and me and Robbie got brought up. We felt like high class like criminals, and they sat us on the curb and were crying our eyes out because the principal is there.
Uh-oh.
The principal, and we're like, oh no. And the worst part was that my favorite teacher in 4th grade, my favorite teacher to this day, came out and was like, what's going on? Because he saw us crying. And the principal was like, they're in big trouble. And I cried my eyes out. We didn't get in trouble. And they said, the principal was like, you guys are going to have to go wash it off. We didn't. We sat there as the janitor washed it off because it was a dangerous chemical and they couldn't let us handle it. So we just sat there and watched her go. And that was it.
Nice.
And then they gave us calls to our parents. I was like, oh no, please, anything but that. They called my grandfather. He's like, okay. That was it. Same with Robbie's parents and someone else. I think there was another person involved. I forget who it was. They called their parents and they were all like, okay.
Yeah.
And that was it. That was my
Okay.
criminal activity.
Alright.
Graffiti.
Dave, I want to know your story next,
What?
please.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Please tell me you punched a kid's fucking tooth out.
I did actually. It's actually a true story. It was back before I was even in Medford. So back before 1st grade.
Uh-huh.
There was this playground that I used to always love going to, and there was just this kid there, and I can't remember the details, but we just did not like each other. So we literally just started fighting.
Okay.
And well, I mean, all it really was is that I
So you won,
punched. Yeah, I won. I punched his tooth out, like one of his baby teeth out, and
Okay.
basically, and he just like started going like bananas, right? And he went to his mom and crying, and my mom was like, "Cannot believe you just did that," and took me home. And yeah, it's basically it.
Okay then.
I mean, not
Yeah.
much else, but I punched his tooth.
Well, I mean, yeah, that happens, you know. You fucking punch a kid's tooth out.
Do you think kids are too sensitive nowadays? You know, like that whole anti-bullying stuff. I
Mm.
feel like that really
Oh,
changed me.
what do you
changed
mean?
me for the better, if anything. Like
What do you
the
mean?
whole like getting bullied. I feel like if bullying was absent, it wouldn't be like not extreme bullying, but I was a fat kid.
Dude,
I was
Okay.
very large.
I was a bully, actually. I was a bully.
But like I think kids are too soft. Like I feel like there's too many kids that just don't know how to handle themselves.
Oh, you mean like? Do you mean like the kids that deserve to get bullied?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. Yeah, no, I've had this conversation plenty of times. I think that there are a certain amount of kids that like if they don't get okay,
This
There-
is gonna sound wrong no matter how
no,
you say it.
no. Okay, so there is someone in our friends group that I'm not going to name, and I think all of you know who it is. All of you know who it is. But no, they deserve to get bullied because they grew up to be a complete piece of shit. In my opinion, at least. But like that is the type of person that like, and it's people that like just get everything from their parents. Yeah, like yeah. Oh, fucking stick it in my mouth, dude. I'm referencing his foot, not his cock, by the way.
Yeah, no, I
Big,
was.
fat, schlong. It's just hanging
Nah.
out of his pants.
Yeah. Nah, it's his fucking dirty ass socks.
Don't make fun of it, dude.
You got fucking sweat stains on your white socks, bro.
Aw.
Oh, that's disgusting.
I know it's
It's
disgusting.
disgusting, bro.
Who wears white socks?
Yeah, bro. What you wearing white socks for, bro? Yeah, black sock gang.
Black socks.
Are you for
Oh,
real? I'm the only one wearing white socks. What the fuck, dude?
You degenerate wearing
Yeah.
white socks.
Fuck. Yeah, cause Dave, you can
Dave's the
see.
only one wearing white
Dave,
socks.
you don't want to wear white socks because you can see the fucking sweat stains in them. That's
You
why.
can see all the
They're
dirt that
nasty
gets
looking.
collected by them. No one wears white socks.
Dave, I'm gonna
Except
bully
old
if
men.
you're not
Yeah,
wearing
black
black
and white
socks
socks.
on the next podcast. I'm gonna crucify
Dude,
you.
remember I was wearing plaid socks?
That's
that
our
one
fucking
time?
podcast named the Black Sock Gang.
Black
Black
sock
sock gang.
gang.
I'm kidding.
Slouch
Alright,
caps.
oh.
There's a traitor in our gang.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
traitor.
Gotta
Wearing
kill him.
white
Yeah.
socks.
All right. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Yeah, but like kids that like get everything from their parents, like those are the types of kids that like if they don't, because how else are they going to be disciplined? Like if the kid is able to walk all over their parents, like how are they ever going to be disciplined? You know what I mean? That's my opinion. at
Fine,
least.
I'll do it myself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The bully's just like, that's how they think about it. They're just like, I'll teach them a lesson
I mean,
they'll
that's-
never forget.
I mean, that's how it should be. Like they should have,
They should hire bullies.
yeah, they should have like
bully hunter, but
Like-
but you hire the bullies, like bully someone.
yeah, no, it's like hall monitors in school, and like whenever they like come
They're
around.
just hitmen.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
But
if someone's being a
bully
shithead,
hitmen.
if someone's being a shithead, they just come over to him and wham, just like right in the jaw.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
They're like the mob.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Have you been a good boy?
That's exactly how it should be.
How were you raised when you were a kid? Oh, you know, your parents bought you a laptop in 2nd grade. Bah!
Yeah,
I
yeah. Any first grader that's walking around with a fucking
Oh,
iPhone 11, like
absolutely.
that's a kid that needs to be
That's
fucking
a topic
punched
that needs
right
to be
in the
talked
jaw.
about.
Just because they have an iPhone.
The topic about they're not gonna be able to hear me that much. Let
Yeah.
me hear you like softly.
Yeah.
About
Okay.
How you said when we're the first.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Grew up
Yeah, no,
normal
I
and
think
stuff.
we are the last generation. We are the last generation that had a semi-normal childhood.
Like we still had VCRs. We still
Well,
were
no,
watching like
it's
tapes.
it's
We were
not that
still-
even. I'm saying like, when was the last time you saw fucking kids playing outside?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
Or like when did you get
Well,
your
when
first
I
phone?
was-
Today,
the last time I
actually.
saw
Oh
that
wow.
was like,
Okay.
Yeah, I was like looking out the window and I saw a whole gang of like 12 kids on bikes.
Bike
just
gang,
come-
yes,
Bike
bike
gang.
Bike
gang.
gang.
Yeah,
That's
I
how
bet
you
you.
knew what house
I
you
bet
gotta
you
go
all of them
to.
are biking to
Yeah, it was
someone's house.
Yeah, to go play
to
Fortnite.
Go play
Fortnite.
Fortnite.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, definitely.
That's so sad though, right? Like it's really sad that there's no like kids. Why it's like why the fuck as a kid would you ever go outside and play when you just play Fortnite all day? Like
I
Fortnite's
absolutely miss going into the woods at my dad's house with like 4 of my friends riding my bike to their house, and you knew they were all there because all the bikes were outside, and the mom would say,
Yeah.
"Oh, they're out back," and
Mhm.
you'd go into the woods and they were there, or you'd be inside playing like some dumb game like Apples to Apples or something
I,
like that.
I do that
Apples to
nowadays,
apples.
but with guns and airsoft.
We did that when we were little. We played with like airsoft guns. Well, I said
Well,
little,
I
but like
didn't
12
Well,
years
we
old.
still do that.
yeah, we
yeah,
still
we
do
still
that.
do that.
No,
Like,
like
to have Nerf wars.
no,
Yeah,
and
we still have Nerf wars.
we-
That's fun.
yeah, like I remember that too. Like I used to have I didn't ride a bike till I was 12, but I still rode my bike. Now it's like you go over someone's house and they're like on life support, but it's just Fortnite. You know, they're always gonna be in the same place. They're in like hospice care.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Hospice
It's
boys.
like, oh,
Well,
he's in
and
his
especially
room. You know
and
where
especially
he is.
because like kids don't know how to discipline themselves because they're fucking kids. So I have learned through my brother's fucking Fortnite addiction that he has. Kids will go at any length to get their Fortnite. Trust me. Like I've seen some serious
Oh,
shit.
I know. I did whatever it took to get a DS when
Yeah,
I was
no,
a kid.
Yes, underneath like your bed, and then
Yeah,
you close it real
mhm.
fast.
Yeah, yeah,
And then
because
you
like
get
they're
the
like no video game. Your parents like
Yo,
no video games
she
past
knows,
8 o'clock.
She knows.
Yeah, no video games past 8 o'clock. So you take your DS and you put it under your
Or your little
yeah.
Nintendo.
Yeah, yeah. When you're hiding
Nintendo
under
Advance-
your blanket
your
and you're
Game
just
Boy,
like,
Game Boy
yeah,
Advance.
you're playing your Game Boy, playing a
Yeah.
game.
Have you ever
and
been
then
caught though? Have you ever
What?
been caught?
Yeah, I've been
I've
caught
been
like
caught.
Oh
I've been
yeah,
caught, like,
I got
once or
caught.
twice.
Yeah.
But I
That's-
remember, like, my parents would like they would come in and they'd be like, "Good night," and then I'll immediately go and do blanket, and then they'll come back in, and I'll hear them, and I'll just like, and they're just like, "You're not playing games, are you?" I was like, "Nope," and
Or-
they
Nope.
they knew, but they're just like, "Okay, you better wake up at this time, not tired."
If you're a really bold kid, though, you're playing the Wii at like 10 at night. You turn it on,
Oh,
it makes a
you
loud
already-
ass noise.
you-
It goes, and you're like, oh shit. You
I had,
gotta
like-
turn it off.
I had like it was a there were 2 curfews. It was like no games past this point, and then we would be allowed to be watch TV for like 30 minutes. So we'd like hide under the blankets, our controllers, and play the game on the TV,
Mhm.
and just be like, "We're watching TV. We're watching TV."
Yes.
And we're just playing the game.
yeah.
Dude, I remember I never really had like a good mobile device. Like I used to have like the old Game Boy Advanced, and I was like, kind of terrible though. I never really liked it, but I remember I used to sit under my blanket with my watch and hit the light up watch button
my God, that's
constantly and just
wonderful.
watch time go by.
Oh my god,
Dude,
dude.
That's
Yeah,
lit.
I was like,
Dude, Game Boy was lit. I enjoyed.
Yeah,
playing
I was
Pokemon.
more of a DS guy.
I mean, same, but like I had the DS Lite, so I was always playing Game Boy and.
Oh yeah.
And the thing
DS,
was,
yeah.
since the Advance wasn't backlit, you'd have to play in the sun on purpose.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
Now you with devices, you have to get out of the sun to get rid of the glare. But for that, you had to go in the sun to play it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can turn on settings to make it like that. Though.
well, it just my point
But
is
who would?
that because we've gone over this in like a previous podcast. My point is that like
Beat your kids.
well
Yeah.
that's always my point. You should beat your kids.
We have to mention that
Uh,
at every podcast at some point.
No, that's
Beat
the
your
outro.
kids.
The
Yeah, the
outro is
outro-
and remember,
Remember,
beat your
guys.
kids.
Beat your
Beat
kids,
your
or he'll
kids.
eat your kids.
Yeah, or I'll fucking
I'm
eat
Uncle
them.
Dave. Just
When we get big, that can be a T-shirt.
Beat your kids,
beat your
or
kids,
eat
or I'll eat your kids, and then I'm Uncle
beat your
Dave.
beat your kids, or Dave's gonna eat your kids.
Yeah, perfect. All
What
right.
can I say? What can I say?
So
When did you all get like your first cell phones though?
fuck.
Like I thought it was wonderful having. Remember the flip phones? So the phones had the front, and then they had the inside keyboard, and that was the coolest thing ever. I had
you
that
know-
middle school, and it was wonderful.
I had that also. The earliest that I had like a flip phone for until high school.
We
So-
totally talked about this
Yeah, we did-
last
we did
time.
talk
We
about
we
this,
talked about this
yeah.
in
But
Discord.
but like
No,
no,
we
we
talked
about
about this on the
because
podcast.
I remember
Did
talking
we?
about
We definitely
how
did.
the only I think because we were talking about how flip phones are now like what did you what
They're
was it?
burner phones
Yeah,
now.
right.
That's what flip
So-
phones
Yeah.
are.
So
yeah.
in like TV and stuff, people are like, you know,
well, no, you snap it in half.
Yeah, it's just like hello.
yeah.
But the best part about about those is when you could literally chuck them and nothing would happen. You drop an iPhone and it
Yeah,
shatters.
and then the screen's pointless.
See, okay, all right. Let me
Well, phones
actually
can be
let me
used
say
for
something about
well.
that. I have no fucking idea how anyone can break a phone. I have never broken a single phone. I've had like I think probably five smartphones total. I have never broken a single one.
Your dad broke your phone.
Yeah, my fucking dad broke my phone, not me, because I remember it was like I had the iPhone. It was an iPhone 5C, and my dad was like, we were like working outside, and it was like during the summer, and my dad was like, "Oh, and can I borrow your phone? I need to call someone real quick." And I was like, "All right, sure, whatever." So I give him my phone, and he fucking comes back 20 minutes later, and my phone is just shattered, and he's like, "Oh, I dropped your phone," and I was really pissed off. He's like, "All right, I'll take you to the phone store tomorrow, and we'll get you a new phone." But joke's on him, because I got an iPhone 7, which was pretty pog.
Wow.
See, I tried to outsmart my parents when I was little. I literally had a burner phone equivalent. So I
Okay.
had an iPhone 5S, and I was able to keep that phone when I got an upgrade, and it ran off the wireless. So, you know, you can iMessage.
Yeah.
So I had a curfew for my phone. I had to bring it upstairs and put it somewhere. They watched me
Oh.
put it there. But little did they know, I had a phone
Mhm.
downstairs that could continue on the Wi-Fi.
Yeah. That. Because so actually, I think my first phone was a Droid. My first one was a Droid, and then every other phone after that, I never had like a phone with keys, like actual
keyboard?
keys on it. Yeah.
I've I've broken. Well, like, what do you count as a
Like,
broken phone?
The
Just the screen's cracked, or like it's unusable.
well, I mean, there's a Well, usually when the screen cracks, it's unusable.
Well, not technically no, because you can if your screen's cracked. Yeah, his screen's cracked and it's still usable.
No. There's a different. No, yeah. So my phone's the fucking same. Like, there's a difference between getting cracks in your screen protector and shattering your fucking phone. Like, there's a big difference.
Because I've broken 2 phones and my screen is cracked on 4 phones.
I can't even fathom that. Like,
Okay, so
how do you break them?
okay, the first one was completely
Owen's just fucking.
the first one was actually just completely my fault.
Okay.
I was just an idiot
Alright.
kid. I had an airsoft gun and I was aiming it at my phone.
Oh
and
my
then
God.
I pulled the trigger not knowing there's a BB
Stupid.
there and then shattered my phone.
Okay,
It was just
alright.
a bullet hole. And then I
Uh-huh.
went to my parents. I was like, I dropped my phone.
That's like when you're trying to be.
And then there's clearly a BB in the phone. It's just shattered. It was like a bullet hole.
That's like
I'm
equivalent
just
to
like, I
when
dropped my phone.
you're just trying to have fun. You're trying to be a cool kid. Then you aim the gun at the TV. To
No,
pretend
I've
you're.
never aimed a airsoft at a TV. No, I've never broken a TV. But
I
I've
don't think I have
that
either.
phone broke, and then my other phone. That was just not my fault. I don't even know what happened. I put my phone down and I picked it back up, and it was completely broken. There was like a little crack on the top, and then the whole thing was like glitching out and not working. I'm just like, all I did was put you on a table. That was not my fault.
Bruh, I have a phone crack story. Phone crack.
Yeah.
Yo, Dave, you were there.
I
It was
probably
like-
was. I think I
yeah.
remember this.
It was the first time I ever broke a phone or like cracked my screen, and we were at Teen Arts,
Yep.
and well, no, it was Teen Arts States, and we are just like chilling outside by this like park, the whole Steel Pan gang, and I was pretty much like sitting on a bench like this, pretty much, and I had my phone in my hand, and then I just dropped it on accident, picked it up, and it was just shattered, and I'm like, or not shattered, but it was just cracked pretty severe, and I was like, what? It was because the ground was like those like bricks, and it was slightly
yeah.
uneven, and it just broke my screen. And then that phone broke because it slowed down a lot, and I was like, and I just like threw it onto the carpeted floor, not that hard. I picked it up, and it was just completely broken, like it was glitching, and I was like, all right. I was like, sick, dude.
I have a callback to things coming out of your body.
What?
What the fuck?
I
I'm not
wanna-
done yet.
Yeah, I'm not done.
One more thing.
Okay,
just-
sure, go
It's not
for
about
it.
me. It's about my stepdad.
Okay, go for
Oh.
it.
So he thought it was absolutely hilarious to hold in his farts as long as humanly possible, and then roll up the windows and lock the windows and hotbox the car with his extreme fart that has gone for at least a minute, and the whole car just smells.
I'm pretty sure child services can arrest you for that.
Meanwhile, my
fucking
mom
gas
and
a
I
child.
are gasping for air, being like, "Please, Joe, put down the windows. I can't breathe."
That's
Yikes.
fucked up, dude.
What?
Yeah, that does sound like something you do.
Lock the windows. You're not getting out of here alive, kids.
It was so bad. His fart smelled god
That's
awful.
great.
It's like a dog fart. You know how they're dense, and they
Oh
just
my
and they.
God. Dog fart.
It's literally like inhaling a poop. That's you know what I mean. Like,
This
you know
is-
exactly.
yeah,
I'm glad that this podcast is poopy, pee-pee, poopy, pee-pee. That's this podcast
I think
right
it's,
now.
it's on a rotation. It's something about shit or something about games.
or something about like childhood.
It's yeah. Well,
Or
I mean,
eating
because
fucking babies.
yeah, yeah,
We're
or
eating
we're
fucking
eating
babies.
babies. Yeah, yeah,
Fucking
fucking
eating
eating
babies.
babies.
No, eating fucking.
This is
babies.
never
Yeah.
going to see
In
the
that
light of
order.
day. Any of this.
Yeah.
My
Fucking
family's
eating
like, "Oh,
babies.
can I see the podcast?" No.
Yeah, no, this is why my parents like, oh,
The vault.
Can I see the podcast? Absolutely
vault.
not.
Absolutely. I'm showing this to
Oh.
my uncle when he comes back from what is it? Washington D.C.
Oh,
He works
boy.
for the government. Both him and my
Yo,
aunt.
tell your fucking uncle to pass the fucking federal marijuana laws already,
Oh,
man.
he's not part of that. So like my aunt, she's part of game and fishing, like wildlife, that bureau. And
Yeah.
then my uncle, he deals with large sums of money for large corporations. I don't know exactly what it's for,
Yo,
but it's with the government.
fucking money
so
laundering
rude at
shit,
times.
dude.
Of ruining America.
Absolutely. Let's let you know what, Dave. Let's get political.
no, let's
He's-
not get political.
He's
Let's
fulfilled
not get
his
political.
he's fulfilled his destiny though, because ironically he's Jewish and he's
All right
handling-
then. Okay. Okay.
He said this himself.
Get the mic away. I'll mute her real quick.
He said this himself.
I'm turning on the
he's-
echo
He feels-
for effect.
He feels terrible that he's fulfilling his quote unquote destiny as handling money.
Well, I mean, does he have a big nose?
No, his name is Jeremiah though, and his
Oh,
last name is Shat. So it's
Shat?
Oh my god. I
He's
don't know
a
if I can
wonderful guy.
Hey,
so
yo, can I speak to Jeremiah Shat?
yeah,
put shat on the line.
he is the best last name, and my aunt willingly took this last name. So she's
Hell
now
yeah.
she's now Stacy Shat. Their children are Noah
SS.
Noah Shat and
the little shats.
yeah.
Little shit.
Little Shat.
little shats. If
So-
oh my god, if my last name was
Don't we
Shat,
have to-
I
don't we have
I
to
would
mute this
solely
part?
I would
'Cause we're putting
solely
someone's
call
full
them.
name into this.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
probably have to bleep this,
You
but
could,
it's okay.
I'm sorry,
we're
you
bleeping.
could leave in the Shat part, but
It's okay. Don't
you
worry
can't
about
leave
it.
in the first name.
I would if my last name was Shat, I would only call my kids the little shats. Come here, you little shat.
I mean,
Come here, you little shit.
you only have to delete this if it gets popular.
Yeah,
Also,
well, you know.
Go through it and bleep all the first names.
All the last-
You're
last
just
names
making
are
more.
important
You're
than
just
first
making more fucking work
yeah.
for me. You know
Speaking
that?
of that, when's those fucking
Yeah.
podcasts gonna
Okay.
be,
Hey.
uploaded,
Hey.
you little
hey,
bitch?
Hey.
We're working on
hey,
it. We'll
Listen,
work on it.
Dave. Do you want the real answer?
You haven't worked on it because you're lazy.
Partially, but no. The whole reason is because I fucking don't have money right now. Yeah, I don't have a.
Well, you don't need
What?
money to
You don't need
upload.
money to
No,
upload.
because I want to make
I was gonna say,
I want
well, I
to
was gonna
make
talk
a
about the Amish
channel
some
and
more.
pay someone to make channel art for us.
I'll make channel art.
Yeah. Oh, what it'll be a fucking PNG image of shit.
Don't make fun of me.
I'll make channel art.
Would you? I mean, that'd be pretty dope because I
Yeah, I
can't afford to pay anyone to make channel art.
Yeah, I
Find
would.
Just
someone
make like a
on,
just like like a banner and then like an icon. Basically, that's what I need.
Do you know the one YouTuber, Jazza, the one that does like all the art, different like art things?
You're talking about these guys are a bunch of gamers. They only know gaming channels.
Oh.
I've heard the
Hey,
name,
hey!
but
I watch philosophy shit too.
Oh yeah, I watch Vsauce.
A lot-
Yeah, that's very philosophical.
I watch a lot of musicals.
Well,
Yeah.
we know that.
Yeah, we know that.
We
We
just
know, Jared. We know.
I'm sorry. I'll sit in the
Say
corner.
the line.
It's like okay, yeah,
Musicals.
and it's like, hey guys, you want me to
This
talk
is why
about
I don't speak.
Yeah.
Give me the creature.
the creature?
I
All right,
need 'em.
so now let me start talking about World of Warcraft.
Oh God. Big
Jared
no.
brought up musicals. Now
Yeah.
it's my turn.
Yeah, exactly. Now I get to talk about what I want to talk
And then
about.
talk about a bird for about 3 hours.
Phase 2 came out.
Yeah, Phase 2.
No,
I'll
stop.
stop you right there.
Yeah, we'll
Yo, did you
stop.
hear they're in
Stop.
Battlegrounds?
I didn't even
December
get to-
10th?
It's kind of early.
Yeah,
I didn't even get to talk about my musicals.
All right, no, I won't talk about it.
All I said
Um,
was the name.
All
What
right.
was everybody's like OG game that they can remember
Dude,
back
Pokemon.
to? Really?
You ever play Toontown?
Oh yes.
You play Toontown? Let's go. Someone here plays Toontown.
Well,
Oh, yes.
Dave's a big fan of Toontown.
Dude,
Mine-
Toontown was my
Mine were
childhood.
Pokemon at AQ.
It was.
See, I was like, I actually wasn't really into like a particular game. For like, I was just playing like whatever. Probably up until Black Ops 2, even. That was
Oh,
probably the
wow.
first. That was probably the first game that like that was the only game I played for probably about 6 to 8 months.
I mean, mine was Pokemon, and then I got a really shitty computer, and then played Adventure Quest.
Adventure Quest.
Mine
Yeah.
was Resident Evil on the GameCube, Resident Evil 2, but those controls, you had to press down to do a full 180, but simultaneously your gun would go down while you're doing it, so
Yeah.
it's impossible to shoot. So you start shooting at your feet rather than what you're trying to aim at, and you can't shoot and run. So you had to do one or the other.
Yeah, because wasn't that game made for like the fucking N64?
No, it was made for the GameCube. That was like
Resident Evil 2?
Yeah, it was made for the PS2. It was, and it was made for the GameCube. I'm fairly sure.
I own like less than 10 games on my GameCube,
And then
so
my
I wouldn't
first
even know.
PC game was Doom.
Oh, that's
And
a lot
that
of
was
people's
that was great.
first.
No, but honestly, I think mine was probably CS. Like that was really the first.
CS:GO was the only one that you played for like a very long period.
no,
still
even-
going on.
Well, even like PC games, like as a whole, like because see, when I was a kid, I was a browser kid. Like I would just play browser games all day.
I mean, that's what Adventure
Unblocked
Quest
games.
was.
Well, yeah, but Adventure Quest was like you'd fucking save when it's saved, right? You'd have a profile and everything.
Yeah, you have a
Yeah, no.
Wait,
So,
do you remember Pop Tropica?
yes. Oh my God, dude, that
That
game
was
was fucking
so
fantastic.
good.
Yo,
I never
okay,
played that one.
no, listen. All right, it was Raft Wars. Like, can we talk about Raft Wars?
Raft Wars.
Raft Wars was one of the best Flash games I've ever played. That game was fucking
Is that the one
fantastic.
where you have to like
Website.
shoot those?
The pirates.
Yeah.
It was like it was like we'll be back, and it's like that's what
Yeah,
they
yeah,
say
yeah.
when you kill them.
And
We'll
then
be back.
What was the other game? The biking game?
Max.
I don't
Dirt
know what you're
something.
talking. It's like a dirt.
Oh,
bike game.
Commando.
No,
You play
the one where you're
Commando.
on, like,
No,
a bike.
it's like a
It's
2D. It's like a 2D
2D.
game, but
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
stick figures.
I know what
and
you're
stuff.
talking about. I
Yeah,
love that
yeah,
game.
yeah.
Before like Happy Wheels and all that.
Uh-huh.
Remember like Unblocked Games, whatever it was,
No,
the website
no,
you
I-
go
No,
on.
I was a mini
I
clip
thought it was like
kid.
addicting games.
Addicting games where I was.
Yeah, no, I was mini clip, dude. On fucking mini clip, they had these commando games that were literally just like straight rips of Contra, but like they were really fucking fun though for a Flash game. So I used to play a lot of that as well.
Computer labs filled with what was it? Kid Pics. The
Kid Pics.
Oh, now you
Kid
got me.
Pics is
It was like, wow.
really didn't age well with time.
Kid Pics
Yeah.
is wonderful. What are you
The
talking
name
about?
itself, Kid Pics, doesn't sound good at all.
I think
What do
that's
you
a
mean?
great marketing.
I
That
love
was
Kid Pics.
That
Yeah.
was on par with
Dude,
I
like
love kid pics.
that was on par with like the shows that were trying to make you learn like Cyber Chase and all that. What is that? You don't know what Cyber Chase
Yeah, no,
is?
those were the shows that they tried to teach you how to use the internet, right?
Yes, Cyber
Yeah.
Chase was wonderful, and they
Yeah.
had Hacker and Motherboard and all
Yeah,
that.
okay.
yeah,
Hold up 1 second. Can I? You know, the thing that we did in school where it's just like you go all. It was like our. What was it? It was like the senior high school trip, basically, and you go. You can either choose a school or clean up at a beach and all that. I don't know.
Oh,
if
I
you-
didn't fucking go to school on that day.
Well-
Yeah, community day. I fucking
Yeah.
skipped that
I-
day.
I chose to go to my old elementary school, and back when I was there,
day.
yeah, and when I was doing my computer lab, they were teaching us how to type, and they were teaching us the kid pics.
Yeah,
thing.
that's what I remember.
They were learning about hacking and learning about like coding,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, what? I don't even know what this means.
Yeah, no, like that is well, actually, Jared. So, because I mean, you're I don't know if your parents ever told you this, but like because, I also have little brothers. we like our like because we're all like basically the same age. So like the year that we graduated from 5th to 6th grade and like we left elementary school, we had that math program, everyday math. That's what it was called. The year that we left, they gutted the entire math program because apparently it was one of the worst math programs in the entire country. Like it was complete garbage.
Amen to that.
Yeah, so like and my cuz I've seen, like my brother, like the fucking shit that he was learning like he was learning fucking like some calculus shit in like 5th grade.
Yeah.
Like
a lot of us are like screwed over now because of what we learned,
Yeah.
and
yeah,
we were
fuck the
learn-
education
Look at us
system.
now.
Yeah,
I
we're all
know.
just a bunch
So,
of fucking
we
degenerates.
we have to at least appreciate that we got a little bit of a tiny bit of teaching of cursive writing.
That
yes,
is true.
Yes.
That is
Because
true.
they don't even teach that anymore. They don't even teach that anymore.
Yeah,
At all.
I don't know.
We got that taught up to what,
I got-
5th grade or so? That's where
Yeah.
I got taught up to
No,
it
Dave,
for like
it was
It was like a
second,
month of
third.
cursive writing.
Yeah,
that's
no, it was like 4th and
At
5th
least we know how
grade.
to
They do like a month
write our
of it.
names in cursive.
Yeah, that's
unlike the
you
generation
don't?
now.
I mean, yeah, I know how to sign
Dude,
my
my
name in
signature is
cursive.
like a scribble. You wouldn't know, if you didn't know I signed it, you wouldn't know who signed
No.
it.
If you
yeah.
showed a kid what an X looks like in a cursive,
They'd
they
be
would have
like,
no
"What?"
idea.
Oh
what
yeah,
that
well, I
is.
mean, I still like my parents like write in cursive because they're boomers, and I'm like, what the fuck are you? What does this say? Like the
That's
and
what I do.
because the other thing is like my parents are like they're one of those people where they put stickies on the fridge.
Wonderful.
Stickies.
Yeah, they put sticky notes because that's like and my dad just writes like his to-do list on the fridge,
Yes.
and I can't read it. I'm like, what does this say? It's all in cursive.
That's how my stepmother, she had sent me a note recently to college. It was just a very nice note about saying how much they miss me, this and that. They haven't seen me in like 6 months, but I could barely read it because of her cursive
Yeah.
and how it just looks like nothing. So it takes you about 10 minutes to read it because you're
You have
rereading
to like
it.
decipher it.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to have my parents like if like my grandparents send me something, I have to have my parents read it to me.
I don't even read. I'd like look at it and just be like, it must say thank you or like congratulations or something. And then
something
I just,
positive.
And then I just put it on my shelf and I'm just like, I'll learn
Yeah.
it sometime.
But really, the only way you got more things was if you were a kid that was enriched outside of school, and that's where you became like more smart. I
Yeah,
want to say.
well, I
Or-
have very very strong opinions about public education.
Here he goes.
We can keep it short and brief.
I mean, I do. I have
With Owen,
well-
maybe.
well, I have-
Concise, Owen.
see, my thing is that when I care about something, that's when I have very strong opinions.
You go
And
on too long, just mention World of Warcraft.
and I d- well, it's something that I do care about because it's something that I might do in the future because my major in college right now is history, and well, what the fuck are you gonna do with a history degree besides be a history teacher?
Yeah, that's what I'm going. I'm going for teaching, not history, but I'm going for biological sciences and then minoring in art.
I just like
If I were to teach anything, you already know what I'd teach.
yeah.
Theater. Theater is so much
history.
fun.
Say the
No.
word, Jared.
Science,
Theater-
actually.
He's
But
like, I'm gonna teach quantum physics.
Yeah, you teach
The thing-
quantum physics.
The thing is, the people who make the most impact on your life usually are the people who do the performing arts or like arts in general. Like
No,
those are the people,
not for me.
Really?
No. It was
People who like art stuff.
yeah.
Oh well, yeah.
I never liked art.
If you
No, I said performing arts.
Yeah,
and
Jared was like,
art.
why are people into art? Like, why
Yeah,
is
yeah, that's
everyone
what I said.
into
I was like,
art?
Why is everyone like art?
I'm like, I don't know, because if you imagine like art, like art as a whole, like music and like everything that encompasses art, you're like, yeah, no, I just hate art.
all of it.
I hate art.
No, like
That thing singing, gross.
Yeah.
that's
Dancing,
not-
expressing
that's
yourself.
that's just
No,
a
that's not for
talent.
me.
there's
That's
like
an art form. Dancing is an art form. Singing
Yeah,
is
it's
an
an
art
art
form.
I know,
Yeah.
but that's not what I mean by it.
play
No,
art,
I
we know,
mean, like-
we
I
know
mean,
you
like-
mean.
Writing,
Right.
and like drawing
That's an
art.
art
Writing and
medium.
yeah, that's art.
Yeah, I know.
Although
Because
actually,
if
I don't know if
I do
writing
agree. If I say art, that's like literally basically everything.
Is-
but I mean like
is writing art
drawing.
though. Is it?
Writing
Yeah,
is
that's art.
technically an
Writing's
art.
Is it okay?
It's an art form.
Yeah.
So
yeah, so yeah, I don't understand. I don't say I don't hate it. I'm just saying, why does everyone go into it? Everyone's just
'Cause
like,
it's
I'm gonna
fun.
be a drawer. I'm gonna be a painter.
Well, yeah,
Dude,
because,
I'm
everyone
going into
does it.
art.
Jared. Okay, it's because like, could
Sorry,
you
every female does it.
could you imagine being like
90%.
being like like you'd be like I'm gonna major in business and open up my own company
That's what
selling.
Nathan's doing.
Yeah.
And he's gonna make his own airsoft thing.
Okay. Well,
that's what one
he,
of my friends are
that's what he
doing. They want to
cares
be a
about.
weed farmer. They
Well,
were
I
like,
mean,
we're gonna have a
dude,
weed
fuck yeah.
emporium.
well,
That's why.
Emporium.
So like, what they want to do is hydroponics. So dealing with like fish. So the fish will
Yeah.
fertilize the plants,
Yeah.
and they will either sell the fish because they'll do tilapia, or they'll just do a really inexpensive fish like goldfish, and it'll just fertilize the
yeah, dude,
farm.
people go ape shit over like weed infused stuff. Like people like the CBD shit that's going on, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Like my mom the other day was like, "Oh, I ordered some like CBD lotion," and I'm like, "It's not gonna. It's just they just put CBD in it. Like it's not gonna do anything for you. Like what's you gonna rub it on your skin and just get CBD in your skin? Like that's I don't know. It's
Yeah.
like people." It's like it's almost like snake oil. It's like you're just buying shit that people say that's good for you that doesn't really fucking do anything, because CBD does have a lot of benefits, but not like if you fucking rub it into your skin.
Let me just rub it into my eyes real quick.
Yeah.
Put it in my contacts.
It's all-
CBD.
Yes.
Mm,
I feel great.
I can see perfectly
Well,
now.
the thing is, CBD actually does contain some THCs, but there's only
yum.
no. There's only so much that it can have. So like the
Yeah.
FDA regulates how much THC
No,
it has.
yeah, no. Trust me. I'm a big
Yeah,
drug
no,
guy.
this guy,
I-
don't get him started on it.
I'll be
It's
honest.
tough.
I'll be completely honest with you, Dave. That's all. That's really what I wanted to what I actually wanted to talk about on the podcast. But the problem is that I didn't think anybody else would want to talk about it because they don't have much to say on it.
Let's talk about drugs.
Because I really,
Why?
because
I don't know, 'cause it's an interesting subject.
it's a very interesting subject.
I just don't care. Cause I'm not gonna do it, and I don't know anything about it, so I don't care.
I'm wondering
Yeah.
if
I just know that
parents
some
do
of them are good, some of them are bad,
Yes.
and I know which one's which. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah,
You-
heroin's the good
but-
one. Weed,
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the
yeah.
good one.
That's, to
Hey,
make, that's to
heroin-
make you feel good, juice.
Meth, heroin, all that good for like
Yes.
that you can do it every day. No repercussions.
Yeah.
So-
but
It's actually
weed,
good for you to do it.
Oh, weed's so
The
bad.
devil. The devil.
The devil's.
Yeah.
So the one dormitory at my school named Holly Point is deemed. It has Holly Point heroin for
Oh,
the rich
God.
kids. They do heroin and they do cocaine.
Well, dude. So like, okay. Let me.
I got a good story about meth.
Do you? What do you
Some
mean?
dude back at Rutgers, they had to replace fucking all the pool balls in the lounge because some guy got high on meth and started putting them up his ass.
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Did he fit any up there?
I wasn't there for it, but
you just see him shit out like 7 of
see,
them.
Like, here's the thing. Like,
Blop, blop,
but,
blop.
like,
Yeah, how big were these
pretty,
balls?
they're pretty fucking
Well,
big.
well, look, like when you're on, the problem is that like when you're on meth, like anything remotely sexual feels incredible.
His ass was
So
probably
like, yeah, I
gaping.
could imagine like if like someone on
Probably.
meth sticking something up their ass and be like, "This is fucking great. I love this." Because like, no, I'm serious. Because that's what meth does to you. It's
No, the
like,
same thing with like Adderall. People do Adderall and then they have like they
Alright.
have sex for like over 4 hours,
Well,
4 or 5.
I was on Adderall once.
yeah. How was that?
It was
Shit yourself.
yeah, I fucking shit my pants. No, it was average. But the funny thing is, I heard about this story. It wasn't my year. It was the year before that this guy did this, and I only found out because me and my friend were trying to play pool, but we couldn't find one of the pool balls, and we looked underneath one of the vending machines, and we found one, and it's like, oh, this one's old. This one, this one is this one's not from
God.
the set. And then we go and do we tell this guy who's been here for a while, like, yeah, we found this pool ball. He's like, oh, you probably shouldn't have touched that. Probably was up some dude's ass.
Oh my God.
That's great. That's great.
The first time I ever heard like people recreational use of Adderall was coming to college because people are like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take Adderall and stay up for 3 days to finish
Okay.
these these
Dude.
things that I need to do.
Let me because we don't have that much time. So like I want to get like
15
I just want to get this off my chest real quick. Okay, people in general. Maybe it's. I think this generation is much different, but people in general have a really bad picture, or a bad mental. What's the word? Like, what they really know about drugs is mostly just essentially propaganda and what the government tells them. Like the vast majority of drugs, are like non-addictive, and people only use it when they're in pain. The reason why that we have an opium crisis in our country is because there's so many people that are constantly in pain physically and emotionally, and so they can use things like pills, opiate pills, to be able to supplement that pain. And then fucking they've told you the story 100 times of how you get hooked on pills, blah blah blah. But the problem is that there are so many benefits to a lot of drugs, and our culture has demonized these drugs, and we put them in this box of like, no, you can't. It's like you can't touch it's like the forbidden fruit. It's like you can't touch this stuff. But the problem is that there has never been a society in the history of the world that has ever not done some form of drugs. It's just in human nature to alter your consciousness. So the idea that we have all of these drugs illegal, and that you're getting them from shady people who don't give a fuck about you and just want their money, and they cut it with shit that's fucking awful for you, and that's like how you die from most of it. Like, if it was all just legalized and regulated by the government, most people wouldn't fucking do drugs.
Well, I don't think people should be doing, black tar heroin or heroin in general.
Well, people
That's
do
what
it.
you said.
people
Because,
people do it because they're masking pain. That's what it is. Like that is the vast majority of the reason why people use drugs. Myself included, forehead. But yeah, like most drugs are very good for you, and the ones in particular that I'd like to highlight is psychedelics. And see,
Man, psychedelics, dude.
yeah, see
The
that's
trees are
going into it.
moving.
No,
he's
they're
going
I'm going
breathing,
into it. I'm
man.
going all
They're
in on this because
breathing.
I've been fucking because I was watching Joe Rogan's podcast that he just had.
Oh,
Are you
here
sure you
comes-
weren't watching Midsummer?
No, I was
No.
watching Joe Rogan's podcast when he had Paul Statements on, and if you don't know who he is, he's a fungus expert.
Psychonaut.
He is also
Psychonaut.
well, he is also a self-proclaimed psychonaut. But hey, listen, no, he's a good guy because he's the fucking guy who's saving the bees. He's the guy who's saving the bees right now. It's very important. Yeah, fun fact: saving the bees is the number one like connecting issue between Democrats and Republicans. Everyone agrees that the bees need to be saved. It's
The
true.
bees are the knees.
Yeah, they are. But anyway, yeah. So fucking all right. Let me try to collect myself
The birds
here.
work for the bourgeoisie.
So
It's true. It's true.
I really wish that the most people's ideas of psychedelics weren't what they are. And what I mean by that is, you hear all the rumored horror stories of like, oh, like that guy who did like, Sunshine and thought he was an orange and for the rest of his fucking life, or all these like made up horror stories about drugs that just like genuinely aren't true. Like here, okay, I'll give you an example. So the example that everyone always gives is
gonna suck on his toes?
the idea. Yeah, I'm gonna suck
He's
on his
gonna-
toes.
he's gonna
The
prevent them
idea
to
of
you.
Rat Park, okay, or sorry, the rat in the cage, experiment. So it's what they had a fucking PSA in the 90s for it. It's like you lock a rat in a cage and you give it 2 bottles of water, one normal bottle of water, and then the bottle of water that's laced with heroin.
Jesus
And
Christ.
yeah, and the rat will always go for the heroin every time and suck on it until it fucking dies. Okay, that's and people are like, oh, well, this is addiction. Look at how addictive these drugs are. But someone in the 1970s, you're so fucking nasty, dude. Someone in the 1970s was like, well, hang on a minute. Like you're locking this rat in a cage with absolutely nothing to do. So it's like, well, I fucking might as well do this heroin because I'm just fucking locked in this cage. So what they did was they
feel that.
created what was called Rat Park, which was it was a really big facility that was made for rats. They put a bunch of rats in there, and they could do anything that they wanted to do. They had all like colorful balls to play with, and could have as much sex as they wanted with any of the rats and any of that stuff. Okay, and none of them ever touched the heroin water. They never touched it. And what that says about addiction is that it is more about your situation and where you are in your life rather than the drug itself. And another great example that I can give you with heroin is at the same time that Rat Park was going on, there was another big experiment that was going on. It was called the Vietnam War. And during the Vietnam War,
Wait, what's
it's
this?
Are you saying the Vietnam War was an experiment?
yes, it was
Stop.
by the
Stop.
American
No,
government.
stop.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. It's for dramatic effect.
perpetrators.
Yeah, no, but so
the Vietnam War. It never
so
happened.
during the Vietnam, so during
Never happened.
it was a conspiracy.
I worked at a Burger King in Nam. Don't
Yeah.
worry about it.
Real.
but-
a South Vietnamese Burger King.
All right, but what I'm trying to say is during the Vietnam War, an estimated 80% of all soldiers were using heroin in Vietnam because and so the government was in a fucking panic. They're like, "Oh my god, when the fucking war is over, we're just going to have all of these fucking veteran junkies on the street addicted to heroin." And you know how many people they sent in Vietnam? It was like millions upon millions of people. And so when a large majority of them are using heroin, the government have a reason to freak out because they all still believed in the rat in the cage theory. So the Vietnam War ended, the troops came back, and 90% of them just stopped. They just stopped using heroin. And the other 10% were able to kick it very quickly because it's all about your situation, not the drug itself. People like to humanize the drug and be like, well, the drug itself is evil. A drug is not evil. It's fucking chemicals. You can't put morals. You can't put morals on fucking chemicals, okay? It's it's like human projection of like making inanimate objects, have emotions and stuff.
I don't know. That table is giving me Jesus Christ, the hard side eye.
Yeah. So it just makes me very upset that our people in our government are still so naive to all of this amazing research that's being done about how MDMA is helping veterans with PTSD. By the way, that's in phase 3 of clinical trials, and once it passes phase 3 and it gets approved by the FTC, it will be usable as a treatment, which means that they will be forced to reschedule MDMA from a Schedule 1 substance. By the way, would just like to tell you this.
And also,
cocaine.
one other thing.
Yeah, one other thing. Cocaine, which you would think would be a Schedule 1 drug, is a Schedule 2 drug. And marijuana, which shouldn't even be scheduled, is a Schedule 1 drug, which means that it has Schedule 1 specifically states that it has no medicinal benefits whatsoever and is highly abusable. And it's like highly.
Don't they give medical marijuana to people in a lot of pain though?
Yes, they do. They give it to a lot of people because it shouldn't fucking be a Schedule 1 drug. The history of marijuana illegalization is so hilarious to me because it was all about money and racism. Harry Anslinger, the man himself, back in the 1930s. I'll give you a little history lesson because I'm a big boy history buff. Harry, look, all right. I wanted to fucking talk about this, and I've got my chance. So the second that I stop talking is when you're gonna interrupt me.
Can we talk about how sometimes you feel like you have a tumor in your brain and the things that just come out of your mouth don't make sense?
I have
out of my mouth. Can we go back to that? Stuff coming out of our butts
let's talk
and
about
our mouths.
sometimes I like to be a gremlin sometimes. Owen knows that. Already.
Yeah. Oh no, dude, Dave will literally he just loves to make noises. Like in Discord, like if it's just me and him and we're just like playing WoW, he just fucking makes noises like all the time.
Well, yeah, I'd rather him make noises than just be dead, awkward silent.
Okay.
Way nicer to have
I'd just rather him be dead.
It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, exactly.
It's way nicer to have Dave in the call because it's kind of just like there's never like a boring moment.
oh
Mhm.
yeah, I'm sure that's the
Yeah,
truth.
you just I feel like that you have Tourette's, but you're not stuck
do
on
have
one
Tourette's.
noise. You're stuck on like you're not even stuck on anything. You just like make noises.
Dude, I got a good. I actually, all right. When someone joins the call that you know, I start
Yes.
getting tics, like for real,
What do you mean? What do you mean by ticks?
like Tourette's.
Oh,
Like,
really?
I start getting tics.
So you have Tourette's
I don't. Well,
because of us.
but like no. Only when
Yeah,
certain
no,
guy
he
joins.
we know you know who he's talking about.
But like
oh,
for real
Yeah.
though, when he starts like going off, cause you don't know who I'm talking about at all,
I don't
probably.
yeah, it's fine.
Is-
No, stop.
It's
I'll be
No,
told
yeah,
later.
that's
Yeah,
fine.
Don't
Don't
worry
worry about
about
it.
But like for real, when he joins the call, I start getting tics as well.
Like it triggers
It
you.
triggers me.
Wow.
And then when he leaves, it's still there, and it like gradually goes away.
Huh.
Like that's why I really, really don't
Dude,
like
that's
it
fucked,
when I'm
man.
in that call.
That's really fucked.
I put him at 1, but it still happens.
Oh yeah, I had him totally muted for a while, and then I was like, I just kind of forgot he was there, and I was about to make a joke, and then I was like, hey, wait, who's in this call right now? And then I came out, and I saw his mic was like flashing, and I'm like, oh, he's here. I'm like, oh, it was literally like 2 weeks after I like muted him. I was like,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Well, some people can't help it.
I have a very inappropriate, terrible thing to talk about.
Oh, that's right up our alley.
Okay, great. Did your parents ever have the talk about why you shouldn't touch yourself? Did they ever have the talk of like, don't ever
Would you have,
effing do that?
would you have Christian parents? Like you have some
I
religious
did.
parents? Like
I do.
Yeah,
No,
that's probably why.
I never
Yeah.
had that talk.
Really?
Dude, my parents were not very open with me.
Like, go ahead, just
Well, I think the
You want
problem
to rape someone? Go ahead, go
I
do
mean,
it. I mean,
to change the subject for like a little bit, my parents really, I feel like the one issue they had with raising all 3 of us was they weren't really open with us. Like they weren't like, I felt like they weren't someone I would go to talk to about personal issues.
right. Yeah.
Like that was my problem with my family. Like I
Mhm.
feel like they weren't there for that. I feel like they're just my family. They just
Yeah.
fed me.
And housed me and
And housed
clothed
me.
me.
Caretaker.
Yeah.
But yeah,
No, I
they
feel
never
that.
had like talks about anything that was like that would be like taboo or something.
the thing that is the most god awful thing to hear from my parents though is from the first floor, hearing this that's happening on the second floor is, Gavin Joe, are you touching your Wonka?
Wonka, dude. No
They refer
way.
to his penis as his Wonka.
Are they British? Are
From
they British?
touching
From-
your Wonka.
I will be
From Dave,
referring
he
to
even
that.
says it. He doesn't even know it's called his penis. He says Wonka to strangers, to random people. He has told me, Cece, my Wonka hurts. You know how awkward?
Okay.
I will
Like-
be referring to my penis as a Wonka from now on. Starting now. My fucking Wonka, dude.
It's been his Wonka since day one. Nothing else. I don't know where it came. It could have been Peter, something normal.
It came from birth.
They're just like, no, it's his Wonka. We don't want to say penis.
He
It's just
came
like,
out-
penis is much better than Wonka. What if he, I can imagine being this 13-year-old and still thinking, this is my Wonka.
Dude, oh my
How
god.
big's your Wonka, dude?
It's like, my Wonka's feeling weird.
He said this before. He's been in the bathtub and he screamed out, my Wonka's getting hard.
Who is this? Who is this again?
My stepbrother. My little step. He's 7 years old. And I was upstairs and I just hear, he screams, he went, my Wonka's getting hard.
I hate that.
Okay.
And
Dude,
it
I am
wa-
the
I
opposite.
started
I think that's
crying.
fucking
I was
insane,
laughing
Lee.
so hard.
That's so funny.
when you have parents that say that don't ever how the fuck can you expect a kid to not do that? You know what I mean? Like
I hope that he grows up to be like 50 and then finally learn that it's called penis.
I really hope so. This sticks with him. It's gonna be incredible because I'm gonna bring it up when he's like 18 and his
How's your
girlfriend's
Wonka
over.
doing?
Yeah.
It's like,
That's
how's
the
your
Wonka.
how's your fucking Wonka?
How's your Wonka?
I can't wait to just mess with him when he's like 18 or 19. He has a girl over, and I just talk to him, be like, so Gavin,
Is she touching your Wonka
yeah,
up there?
I just bang on the door.
You two better not be touching Wonkas up there.
Are you insinuating?
has a friend over, just a guy friend.
Yeah.
You guys better not be docking Wonkas.
Wonkas, yeah.
Don't show me Wonka. All right?
It's just
That's private.
That's private information.
It's so hilarious that they deemed it his Wonka. And my grandmother, she had another weird word for like girl parts, so it was your doopy.
You're doopy. Oh
Your
my
doopy
God.
You
was-
better not been sticking your Wonka that doopy up there.
So your vagina
Doopy,
was
bro.
your doopy. How I learned to wipe myself when I was
Okay.
little
Imagine
was
going down on someone and then they say, "Yeah, sticking your Wonka in my doopy."
so what I was.
And on that note, I think we have to end the
Okay.
podcast
No wait,
here.
one
we ran out of time.
more thing.
No, we ran out of time.
This is
We're
why
done.
old people should be executed. Like,
That's
like
it. No,
that's no,
No,
I'm
no,
serious.
turn
Like
it off.
that's
it.
that's all right. Well, this has
Outro,
been
please.
yeah. I'm sorry for the
Later,
short.
bitch.
You know, we had to cut it here. Sorry for the short one. But you know, fucking. I hope you can enjoy whatever the what are we?
Just
I was like, what?
remember,
Just shit. Like
doopy to
shit.
poopy.
Childhood stories. Then something a little serious, and then whatever the fuck this was at the end.
Just remember, guys, doopy to poopy, not poopy to doopy.
Yeah, and also beat your children and
then beat your Wonka.
Yeah, and beat
beat
your
your
children,
Wonka.
then your Wonka in
then
that
eat your
order.
kids.
Then eat your kids.
Then eat your kids.
Remember, beat
Alright.
your kids, or he'll eat your kids.
Yeah,
Next time.
this was
Signing
episode.
off.
Yeah, this was
Signing off.
this was episode 5. And hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you all on the next one. Take care.